right, so good afternoon everyone. Selamat sore semuanya. Welcome to the 15th EHEF Indonesia. So we have European Higher Education Festival today. So this is the third session of today. My name is Chandini and I'm gonna be the moderator for this session. So for each one of you watching this session, if you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section and we're gonna read the questions to the respective speakers that we have today. And speaking of which, we have two interesting speakers that we have for this session today. The first one is Roxana. So Roxana is coming from Timisoara, Romania, the Western University of Timisoara, Romania. And the other one is Camila from the University of Padua. So yeah, without further ado, I would like to invite Roxana first to introduce herself and the university as well. So Roxana, the time is yours.
Hi, thank you very much for the very nice introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Roxana Diaconescu. I work in the international office at the West University of Timisoara in Romania. In a nutshell, because I don't necessarily want to give you all the secrets of the university because the information is always available on our website. The best things that you should know about the university is that it's the fourth largest university in Romania. It's located in the west part of the country at the border with Serbia, Hungary, so very close to, let's say, Central and Western Europe. Timișoara this year is the European Capital of Culture. Therefore, there are very many nationalities visiting our city. It's a very multicultural city full of opportunities and cultural activities. The university is a comprehensive one in the sense that it has 11 faculties ranging from arts and design, biology, chemistry, physical education and sports, computer science, business administration, music and theater, you name it, we have it. What we do not have at the moment are medical and engineering programs, but we do have, for example, computer science related programs, which are very popular, from AI to big data and so on and so forth. The university is a public one, and we have very many exchanges, very many possibilities to travel abroad. We have, when we work within the Erasmus program, and we are also part of a European alliance called UNITA. And we definitely have very many possibilities for you to study and to have fun and to enjoy the vibrant city that is Timișoara.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Roxana. We're going to get back to you later. But I'd like to talk to Camila at this point. Hi, Camila. What can you tell us about University of Padua?
Yes, of course. The University of Padua is one of the oldest and most prestigious European universities. We were funded in 1222. So by joining the University of Padua, actually students will access, a historical university indeed. History and tradition are a main part of the experience at the University of Padua. But they've always gone hand in hand with innovation. So, very rooted in the past with an eye on the future. We are indeed a research intensive university, strong focus on research and on academic excellence. And we are ranked among the top 200 universities in the world. So, a feature that actually qualifies the level and the quality of instructions that students will receive at our university. Like the West University of Timisoara, we are a comprehensive university. So we do basically touch almost every field of studies. In our case, we have engineering and medical, but we don't have design. So, actually, it's a good match to be here with Roxana today. Yeah, actually, we the timing of this show is perfect because we open our first call for application for international students tomorrow for the majority of our master's degree programs. We have more than 60 degree programs held in English, fully held in English. like the majority, more than 55, are actually masters. So, you know, plenty of opportunities for students wishing to further their education on a postgraduate level. We also
Right.
have some bachelors, but mainly in psychology, medicine,
Okay.
and surgery, and from the School of Science and Engineering also. So that's, you know, trying to summarize everything at the beginning. But of course, students can also come to our booth if they want to know more information. And I'm sure something more will come up during the talk show.
Sure. Thank you so much. So you mentioned that tomorrow is gonna be the opening for the application deadline. It's
Yeah.
like gonna be you're opening the application for the master's program, isn't it?
For the majority of our master's programs
All
and a
right.
couple of bachelor's program also. So we have
All
different
right.
calls for application, but let's say 85% of programs open for application tomorrow. So
All right.
students will be able to actually, you know, start working on their application from tomorrow, and they will have time until the 2nd of February.
Okay, so the application for around 85 of the programs that you have starts
Yeah.
tomorrow until February.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Okay. So if anyone is already interested in checking out Padua's University of Padua's website, you can do so starting from today, because tomorrow they're going to be opening the registration for 85% of their programs, and it's going to last until February. So you can start preparing your dossier right now. All
Yeah.
right. Okay. I'd like to get back a little bit to Roxana right now. So,
Yes.
Roxana, what can you tell us about the you know, the living cost and the living experience for international students, for example, in Timisoara, and then the scholarships available. Information about scholarships is going to be interesting as well for the audience.
Perfect. Yes, thank you very much. Concerning the living costs, they are very low, especially in Eastern Europe, where I
Yeah.
come from. So Romania is located in Central Eastern Europe. Therefore, the prices here are less expensive than the costs in other countries from the world. The living cost would be, for example, of approximately, let's say, 150 euro per month if you stay in the campus. If you have, for example, a campus where you have a room in a dorm. So the costs are quite low compared to other places. But for example, if you prefer to rent an apartment or to do something else in Timisoara, have a place of your own, maybe the cost could be somewhere around 300 euro per month. So
Okay.
considering this aspect, of course, there are possibilities to get a part-time job and also to apply for different scholarship opportunities. We as a university offer scholarships, like full-time scholarships. You can apply for them starting from March 2024 until September 2024. And we cover everything, for example, from full tuition. You do not have to pay the tuition at all. There's free accommodation in the campus and a monthly grant in the amount of 65 euro. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, from March to September, it's a scholarship application or the general
Yeah, it's
application?
the entire process. For
All
we
right.
only have one intake, so even if you apply as a scholarship student or as a full-time payer, for example, you can apply
Yeah.
starting with March 2024 until September 2024.
Okay. So application starts from March to September, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yes. That's when
Okay.
we open our admission, because now we are closed at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to continue a little bit to you before I get back to Camila later. So for international students who are arriving in Timisoara, for example, they're coming for the first time. And is there any assistance for international students in particular, to, for example, to find housing and then, you know, to start immersing themselves with the local culture?
Of course, as soon as they reach Timisoara, they can apply for a housing in our campus. So there is the possibility to apply for a room in one of the dorms that we put at the disposal of the international students. Of course, there are different student leagues and student associations that are willing to volunteer to help them immerse in the culture and help them with participating in different cultural and social events. So there are these possibilities, yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm gonna get back to you later, Roxana. So, Camila, so can you tell us about the scholarship opportunities at the University of Padua and how you help international students to start, immersing themselves with the local life?
Sure. The same deadlines that we have for the call for application, so 2nd of November, 2nd of February, also apply for, let's say, the main three type of merit-based scholarship. So
Okay.
the most popular is the Padua International Excellence, which basically allows students to have a complete tuition fee waivers, so they will not have to pay the tuition fees, and an allowance of 8,000 euros per year, paid into installment after every exam session, because of course the performance has to be maintained to receive the scholarship. There are other types of scholarships that are financed directly by departments, either in terms of yearly allowances or tuition fee waivers. So, and the amount in that case varies, and the duration as well varies according to the department in charge of the financing. For these scholarship opportunities, students don't need to file a separate application. They apply for the program and they are automatically included in the selection for the scholarship. So by March, which is normally the deadline that they have to accept, they will know whether they have been admitted to the program and awarded with a scholarship. So before having to accept, they actually know whether they receive a scholarship or not. On top of this, there are a number of scholarship opportunities that are financed by third parties. There are scholarships provided by the Ministry of International Affairs and Foreign Cooperation, like the Study in Italy scholarship, for instance. We also have the Galilean School of Higher Education, which is part of our university and supports financially most talented students pursuing a master's degree program. So really the opportunities for them, for students, to receive support during their education, during their academic career are there. In terms of services, we do have, I would say, a solid structure supporting international students from application and onwards, basically, because the Global Engagement Office, from which I'm part, is the main point of reference from application to enrollment. And actually, within summer months, so prior to their arrival in Italy, they receive, for instance, online resources to start studying Italian. Italian is not mandatory if they study in English, but if they want to, just to get the basis and grasp a little bit, get acquainted, familiar with the language, they have this possibility. And then when they come to Padua, there's a free Italian language course available for them. We also have a buddy program. So for every newly arrived international student, there's a senior student who's assigned to them to basically for the first couple of weeks, show them around the city and being a bridge between the freshmen and the students community. We have a housing office that can support them looking for accommodation. And there's, it's called SAOS, S-A-O-S, an office that supports students filing for their residence permit. Actually, we do organize weekly webinars where we show students how to fill in the form to apply for the residence permit. We have an office inside our headquarters from the national health system, so they can get their health card directly at the university without having to browse around the city. And in each department offering programs held in English, we do have a member of our office based in the department. It's called International Desk, so that students can have a go-to person throughout their academic career without having to refer back to the central office. So
Okay.
that they are indeed quite well supported when they arrive.
Okay. Thank you so much, Camila. I think a few interesting things that you shared earlier would be the free Italian language course, which is going to be really interesting for international students. And like, of course, while the courses are taught in English, I think when you're studying in a certain country, I think it's going to be very much beneficial for you as well to learn the local language. It's not only about living in that place for study, but after the study, such language skill is going to be relevant for you as well, especially when you're entering the job market. And then the office as well that provides assistance for residence permit. I think it is something that international students usually need as well, because a lot of things that have something to do with bureaucracy could be quite confusing.
We are, Italy and bureaucracy. We have a good margin for improvement, let's say. So we're trying to make it easier, for students. That's why we came up with these assistants.
Okay. So before I get back to Roxana, I'd like to continue a little bit with you, Camila. So is there any existing network that the university has with the local ecosystem in Italy or overseas where you can connect the students with the prospective employers, for example?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't say one, I wouldn't mention one because obviously it depends on the area of studies. We do have a career service, so an office that basically serves as a sort of bridge between graduates and the job market. Although I would say that the majority of our students finds their path, whether in academic research or in the job market, thanks to their professor. Especially at a master's level, there's an internship, which is a mandatory part. And professors are deeply involved in assisting students in choosing the right internship for them. What I mean is, you want to pursue your career in research, so in the academic world, you would look for an internship in a research center or within the university. On the other hand, if you want to, start working and enter the job market, then the professors will help you or the professors or the career service will help you, find an internship in a company, for instance, so that you can start, carve the path towards your future employment perspectives.
Okay,
And
so it depends on your direction, right?
Yeah, exactly. And in Italy, after graduation, students can stay up to a year looking for a job or starting their own company. So they're given, some time to actually, if they want to stay, of course, to actually look for opportunities in the job market.
Okay, so there are opportunities for you who would like to pursue the academic path
Yeah,
or
definitely.
the research path, or you would like to enter the professional world immediately. You can get any advice that you need to enter any of those paths. So Camila, I would like to direct your attention to the question from the audience. So we have a really interesting question over here from Naomi. Naomi says, I saw communication strategies, quote unquote, study track, master's degree program at the University of Padua's website. Can you explain a little bit more about this so-called study track? Is it like a coursework for a master's degree or something?
Yes, thank you for the question. It actually helps me because it's not only about communication strategies. We have other programs that have the same name. So basically, the study track is for the programs that have the same courses held in Italian and in English. So the master's degree is communication strategies, and it will have one study track fully held in Italian and one study track fully held in English. So the degree at the end will be exactly the same, the language of instruction changes. So this is the explanation, let's say, to the study track part. But it's basically the same thing. It's just that within within the same program, there are different curricula, let's say.
Okay.
In some instances, the curricula, like for instance, for engineering, the curricula different curriculum entails different courses. In this case, for communication strategy, the different study track entails a different language.
Okay. So they
basically
provide
students can
options.
choose.
Yeah. Options to study communication and strategies for their master's degree in English or in Italian.
Exactly. And if you want just like a quick overview basically on the program of communication strategies, is actually a master based on cross-disciplinary methods to design communication projects and strategies. So among the courses, there's like a number of different courses, from writing for the media and communication practices to computational thinking, digital cinema, video making, digital sociology, intercultural communication, search engine optimization. So all the different areas of communication basically are included in this program.
Okay, so for the communication strategies master's degree, it's a cross-disciplinary projects where students will be introduced to different courses, for example, about writing, about sociology, about search engine optimization as well. So different elements about the communication strategy as well. So that's what students will get when they're joining the master's degree for communication strategies.
Exactly. And once they graduate, they can actually work in public relation, media, copywriting, content manager, like in these different fields of communication.
All right. So if they're taking this master's degree in communication strategies, at the end of their study, will they have to write a thesis or any other option to graduate?
Yes, actually, for all our masters, a thesis is a mandatory part. So they cannot graduate without writing a thesis. And the majority of them also entails an internship, so practical experience.
Okay. Okay. So thesis basically mandatory for every single program, but they get the chance to do internship as well when they're doing the program.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I hope that answers your question, Naomi. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Camila. I would like to move ahead to Roxana right now. So Roxana, what can you tell us, for example, about the supports to connect the students to the international network, for example, for job opportunities, and if you have any assistance as well for language courses for Romanian, if the students like to study, like to learn Romanian.
Okay, perfect. So, like Camila said, we also provide the students with support coming from our Center for Counseling and Advice in Careers. They are the ones who are responsible, for example, with welcoming the students before actually reaching Timisoara. So they will be the ones, after the students receive the approval that they have been admitted at our university, they will be given different emails from the Center for Counseling and Career Advising Department, and they will be guided throughout the whole process until reaching Timisoara and being enrolled. They are also the ones who will be there for the students for peer-to-peer activities, for immersing them, for putting them in contact with different student leagues, international and national student leagues that we have at our university. And also throughout their study, they will be the ones trying to advise them for further career developments. So once they finish their studies, they will reach out, and they will also communicate with the professors for different internship opportunities. We also have like a lot of internship opportunities provided by the Faculty of Economics and Business Administration, because there is a very large job market in Timisoara on these aspects, and also in IT, in computer science. It's very, very easy to try to find nowadays a job in IT, because you can always work remote. You don't necessarily have to, you know, go to an office. You don't necessarily need to speak the language of the country. Speaking of the language of the country, of course, we have free Romanian language classes for those who are interested. And we also offer the Romanian language preparatory program for those interested in studying in Romanian. Of course, it's not mandatory to study in Romanian. We have English, French, and German taught programs. But if someone is interested in studying Romanian, because, for example, there are like some topics that are not necessarily available in English, only in Romanian, then of course, yes, they have to learn Romanian for 1 year. It's a mandatory thing. And afterwards, they can continue their studies in Romanian. So yes, there are different language courses. The classes are very, very, usually the students are very happy with learning Romanian. And I just know like a very inspiring story about it. Whenever, you know, students come for the beginning of the academic year to be enrolled, they barely speak, you know, because they're like very shy. They don't know exactly how to communicate. They don't know, of course, Romanian. And after 1 year, like after 9 months, they come and talk to me in Romanian. And that's like really amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so free Romanian language courses and preparation as well if you're taking the
Sure.
courses for your study in Romanian. So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, so there's a question from the audience. Is there any program such as engineering management for master's degree in Romania, for example?
There's not necessarily engineering available at our university, but we do have programs that are available in computer science, from artificial intelligence and distributed computing, cybersecurity, intelligence, software, robotics, big data. And these are like the programs that we focus more on: robotics, on IT and computer science, but not necessarily on engineering. In Timisoara, there is another university. It's called the Politehnica University, where the programs are offered only for engineering. So they become engineers in different fields there. Yeah.
Okay, so if you would like to pursue the engineering path, you can go to the Polytechnic.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Still in Timisoara, yeah, but at a
but the
different
West
university.
University of Timisoara, you have artificial intelligence, robotics, and IT computer science for
Exactly,
the
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And Camila mentioned earlier about the possibility for graduates, for future graduates to get some kind of like living permit for the permit
yes.
to like
for
1
the
year after
working
graduation.
permit.
And
Yes.
do you have it too?
Yes, we also have it. I think I don't know exactly how it is in Italy, but we also have it in Romania, and I think it's something that has to do more with European policy making. And for example, you also have this from 6 months to 1 year, a possibility of researching the labor market and trying to find a job opportunity. Yeah. And applying afterwards for getting a working contract and getting a working permit and living and working in Timisoara.
Okay, so basically after graduation, students can stay over there to try to find a job,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
like
From
they're gonna
6
be
months to
permitted
1
to
year.
stay.
Exactly.
6 months to 1 year, and then once they get the actual job, and then they can have like a work permit from the job.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Rosanna, I'm gonna get back to you, but I'd like to move to Camila at the moment. So Camila, more questions coming to you. I hope you're okay with that.
Yeah, fine.
So
Bring them on.
yeah. I think you touch base about the scholarship earlier, but perhaps you can explain a little bit more about that again. Because Diana over here is asking, hello, Camila. I'm interested in applying for a master's degree program at the University of Padua. I would like to ask about the university scholarships.
Okay, so our scholarships are merit-based scholarships. It means that they take into account, you know, when professors assess your application, they mainly look at your profile. The main criteria would be the GPA. So make sure that, you know, you work on your academic performance prior to applying. And if you are in your last year of studies, apply when your GPA is at its highest. You know, like try to be a little bit strategic also, you know, when of course compatibly with the dates of the call for application. So you apply for the program and you are automatically included in the selection for the scholarship. So the academic committee first assesses your application and establishes whether you are eligible or not to be admitted for the program, you know, if you are a good candidate for them. Then when all evaluations have been completed, they basically choose the best candidates, you know, the students that they really want to have in their class, and award them with a scholarship. There are scholarships that are financed directly by our office. And these would be the Padua International Scholarship, which is a tuition fee waiver and an allowance of 8,000 euros per year, and also tuition fee waivers. So in this second case, it's not a fully financed scholarship, but you will not have to pay for tuition fees. Okay, so these are those that we finance directly. On top of this, there are scholarships that are offered by the departments. So every department every year decides to allocate an amount of money towards scholarship. And for these ones, it's a little bit difficult for me to tell you exactly, you know, which amount will be given, because it differs from department to department. The same goes for the duration. In this group of scholarships, this group of scholarship is reserved to applicants of the first call for application, so 2nd of November, 2nd of February. And also to the applicants of programs that have the application window 7th of January, 7th of March. It's not a second call. It's really another group of program that follows, you know, a parallel track, basically. So all these are reserved basically to first call applicants when you apply to the first call available for the program of your choice. And you need to be an international student and to have chosen a program in English. Then in addition, there are also scholarships that are not managed directly by our university, but that we promote. So we inform our international students about the other opportunities. And the main one for master's degree students would be those offered by the Ministry of International Affairs and Foreign Cooperation.
Okay, so different kinds of scholarships. And just quick question, Camila. So because you mentioned that when a prospective student is applying for a program and they're going to be automatically considered for a scholarship, when writing a personal statement or motivation letter, do they have to mention that they would like to apply for a scholarship as well?
No, I would not mention that because it will take out the focus from the program. And normally professors want to see students that are passionate about their programs, not about the scholarship. So, I mean, you know, use the motivation letter to highlight why you are a good fit for the program, why you want to come to the university, you know, why you chose that program, that department, and what you can bring to the class. By including the scholarship part, let's say, in the motivational letter, you automatically weaken the power of the letter.
Okay. So you would not encourage anyone to put anything about scholarship in the motivation letter, in the personal statement. Just focus on explaining why you're a good fit for the program. So that's it. That's the purpose of the personal statement.
Yeah, because the main reason should be you wanted to come to Padua because, to receive excellent quality of education, not to receive the scholarship. Now, we all know that
All right.
scholarships are important and in some cases play a crucial role.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to apply to as many scholarships as possible. So don't get me wrong. Just,
Yeah.
focus on, just keep them separate. Focus on the program and
Yeah.
on the quality of education.
All right. Thank you so much, Camila. I
You're
would like to
welcome.
talk to Roxana because I have a question for you from the
Yes,
audience.
please.
So this is from Romadi. Romadi is asking about something about the government scholarship program. So I plan to register to Romanian government scholarship for the West University of Timisoara. About the
Mm-hmm.
English proficiency test, which kind of test he needs to take? And how much the score that UVD needed for the bachelor program.
All right. So, as Camila said, there are different types of scholarships. Um, our university offers a type of scholarship. It's called the VUT scholarship, obviously, because it's offered by our university. But there are also
Yeah,
governmental scholarships offered by Study in Romania, because in Europe, most of the countries have this national pavilion called Study in Italy, called Study in Romania, Study in Poland, so on and so forth. It's the
yeah,
governmental scholarships that are offered by the country that the candidate is interested in applying for. If our candidate who asked the question is interested in applying for a governmental scholarship, I think that she should keep in touch with the representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Romania. And as far as I know, this type of scholarship, because this type of scholarship is not necessarily managed by the university. Being a governmental scholarship
yeah,
is managed by the Ministry of Education and Foreign Affairs in Romania. And as far as I know, this type of scholarship implies that you need to study in Romanian, because that's why the government offers these types of scholarships, in order for you to better
okay,
immerse in the culture and in the Romanian um, study programs. And I think that the scholarship implies for them to do a Romanian language year, so to learn Romanian for 1 year and then continue their studies in Romanian. Therefore, I don't think there's I don't think there's necessarily a need for an English test here, because they will learn
yeah,
Romanian and they will study in Romanian. But if they want to study in English, I advise them to apply for our university scholarships, where we need, as a university, we need the English test. The English test can be whatever English test they have. It can be IELTS, it can be TOEFL, it can be Cambridge, or any type of certificate attesting that they know English at least at a B1 level. So it's an intermediate type of language examination. Yeah.
yeah.
So from this
Okay.
perspective,
So for the
concerning the
application,
score, yeah, sorry.
the score? How about the score?
And yeah, and I think that the score is established if they want to apply for a scholarship given by the Romanian government. The score will be, let's say, given to them, or they will be informed by the representatives of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And in our university, the score is not necessarily one that we have in mind. It's the idea to have like very, very high grades and try to maintain a very good status, because if we're talking about uh, scores that are lower than the average in Indonesia, then we will not accept the application. So the scores need to be above average, yes.
Okay, so it's above average. So in the European language framework, for example, is it for the English one, is it B1, B2?
Yeah, B1, B2, yeah, for the English examination.
Okay, so for English evaluations, like when it comes to the European language framework, so you are required to have the English in level of B1 or B2.
Exactly, which is
Yeah,
the intermediate, almost advanced
yeah,
type of
So it's actually
level.
going to be useful for you to help you studying in English as well when you already
Exactly,
reach
exactly,
that level.
exactly. But only if they apply for the scholarships provided by our university. If they apply for a governmental scholarship, as far as I know, there is no need for any English test because they will
Yeah.
study in Romanian.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you would encourage the students to just focus on the scholarship from the university, because from the
Exactly,
government
exactly,
it's usually encouraging you to be able to, to be willing
exactly.
to study in Romanian afterwards.
Exactly, exactly. And the whole idea is to try to apply at whatever scholarship you have at your disposal, as Camila said, because the purpose is to try to attract the students and try to familiarize them with these parts of Europe. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Rosanna. I'm gonna
Thank you.
have one more question to Camila, and after this, I'm gonna invite the both of you to promote your university and talk a little bit more about it, like giving closing remarks. So, Camila, one last question for you.
Sure.
It's still about the language proficiency. So,
Yeah.
hello, Camila. I just checked the website of Padua University and seeing this statement: English language at C1 level. As per the CEFR for the languages or equivalent, no certificate required. Can you please explain more about it?
Yes, and I know exactly where the students saw this information.
Yeah.
It's on the entry requirement of English studies. So English studies is a master that requires 12 ECTS, so 12 credits in English language and or American language, and 12 credits in English or American literature. So a total of 24 credits. Now, normally every program awarding 24 credits in these two core areas shapes students with a proficiency level equal to C1.
Yeah.
So, and for English studies, you are admitted with mainly a bachelor in English language and literature. And graduates from this study path are proficient and have a C1. So that's the only case though. It
Yeah.
is really the only case where the certificate is not required. All other programs require an English certificate among those listed on our website. So
Okay.
IELTS, TOEFL, Cambridge, Pearson's with a minimum score. The level required by the majority of our programs is a B2. And for IELTS, the minimum score would be 6. So make sure that you have a B2 with a 6, not a 5.5, because it's not
Yeah.
accepted. And only a few programs require a C1. English studies and European and global studies, which is a master in international relations, requiring a C1 with a certificate.
Okay. So for the TOEFL, is there any is there any minimum score that's expected
Yes,
students?
there
Yeah.
is. It's still higher than the one, let's say, that the regular one. We have all minimum scores are a little bit higher. For the B2, the minimum score for TOEFL is 80, and for the C1 is 95.
Okay. Okay. So TOEFL
And we do
around
accept
80.
also. Sorry, because this is a question we get all the time. Internet-based IELTS and TOEFL are also accepted.
Okay, internet-based is also accepted, but for TOEFL, it's like around 80 for the B2,
Yeah.
and for the C1 is 95 minimum.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Minimum.
Okay. Thank you so much, Camila. So I
Welcome.
think we have arrived to the end of our session. So sorry if there is any questions that we cannot cover for this session. Camila, any closing remarks for you?
Sure. Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you to the students that ask so many questions. It's always nice, to see so much curiosity. Well, why coming to Padua? First of all, because you'll be coming to Italy. And living in Italy is just a great opportunity to soak up art and culture, everywhere, literally everywhere. The city is say a small mid-sized city, with a very high quality of life, quite affordable, and very young and dynamic. 1/3 of the population of Padua is made of students. So, since I spoke so much about the university and the academic offer, I thought it was important to give you some references also about the place where you will be living for at least 2 or 3 years. And yeah, well, the academic excellence, of course, the fact of having on your resume that you've studied in one of, the best universities in Europe and in the world, and the opportunity to, thanks to our international network, to even enhance this experience with Erasmus opportunities, with a semester or a year abroad at another European or non-European university. So really plenty of opportunity to shape your future.
All right. Thank you so much, Camila. And back to you, Roxana. Any closing remarks from your part?
Thank you very much for having me here. And I apologize if I'm not being seen very well, but here in Romania now it's like very sunny. It's like the contre-jour effect, and I look like a boogeyman here in black. But what I can tell you about Romania is that it's a very welcoming country, first of all, very dynamic. Timisoara is full of students, a very multicultural city, like I've already mentioned, the European Capital of Culture this year. Apart from all of the academic opportunities that I've enumerated at the beginning of the session today, you also have the possibility to explore the country. You also have the possibility to travel for 1 semester, 2 semesters abroad. And of course, you get the chance to see a different side of Eastern Europe, maybe try to familiarize yourself with different surroundings and to enjoy the nature that we offer, of course. So from this point of view, I think that it's great if you can give Timisoara a chance, and then from that point on, you'll see what other things you can do. So please come to Timisoara and to West University of Timisoara, and why not at some point maybe you can travel to Padua, or if you go to Padua, you can travel to Timisoara. We're very close to each other, just a couple of hours by train or by plane. So it's good.
All right.
That sounds like a plan.
Thank you so much, Camila and Roxana. So I would like to remind each one of you again who are still participating in the session, if you still have questions, Roxana and Camila will be able to assist you through the virtual booth. So you can reach out to them for the virtual conversation with them if you have any more questions. And for those of you who are living in Surabaya, Jakarta, and Bandung, don't miss out the opportunity to meet the representatives from different universities and different institutions in Europe for the offline exhibition. So in Surabaya, it's going to be held on the 8th of November at the Square Ballroom. And then in Jakarta, we're going to have the offline exhibition at Menara Astra on the 11th and 12th of November. While in Bandung, it's going to be held at Hilton Hotel on the 14th of November. So choose the best spot that you would prefer and meet the representatives over there and ask your questions away. So once again, thank you so much, Roxana and Camila. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Speak to you on the next occasion. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.